This is a bit of an angler's paradise, if you're honest. There's multiple lakes on site, but today I'm going to be fishing Birch Lake. Now, this isn't formally open till the 1st of November, so if you are watching this and you do fancy giving this place a go, make sure you head over to their website and get booked in, or give them a call. That's the best way of doing it. Now, we're going into that harder time at the moment in regards to finances, especially for me, that Christmas period. And anybody watching this who's got children as well know exactly what I mean. Now, I'm going to be fishing on a budget. I've got our solid bag bundle deal, which you can get here at Coke and Farm, or obviously on our website as well. It consists of 1 kg of mini mix pellet, a flat spot, and also a pot of magic beans. So I'm going to be here for the next 24 hours, bring on my journey and see if I can make it happen with basically the bare essentials, but plenty of quality bait to do the job and hopefully make it happen, and hopefully nick a few nosser pigs. Here it is, Birch, and it's got around 1,500 fish in. It's around 7 acres in size, give or take. And what a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful place it is. And like I said, this opens on the 1st of November, so you must get over or make some phone calls and get booked on, because like I said, what a mega place. Now, I'm quite fortunate. I've literally got this whole side to myself. Chris is over the back there, and he's nailed a couple this morning. So I'm going to let that footage roll, and well done to him. When I was standing over there, he nicked a couple of fish. So I'll play that right now. So I rock up, and Chris is into one already. So £17 on the nose, was it?
Yeah.
And what a banger. And this is first of, what, 3 this morning? Fair play to you, mate. Fair play to you, and an absolute banger. Banger. How many you had now?
That's 4 now this morning.
4 this morning, and a lovely, lovely, fully scaled, absolute banger. Imagine what that's going to look like when it's £30. So as you can see, he nicked a couple of fish, and fair play to him, and bangers they were. Nothing ginormous, but when they look like they did, I don't think it really matters. Now, a couple of things to point out with this particular venue. It's quite nice because they've made it easy for you, because they've got these little yellow poles which basically gives you your limits of where you can cast in each peg. So there's no confusion, there's no arguments. It makes life very, very easy. Now, like I said, I've got the flexibility. I've got this whole end to myself because nobody's fishing here at the moment. The complex is not open, or this particular lake isn't open yet. So I'm going to take full advantage of this bit of water I've got in front of me. But again, when you are up here, make sure you're courteous to the person next door to you and stick to your boundaries if there is someone in the pegs, obviously, up from you. So that's where I'm at. I thought it'd be safer, and the other reason why I've come around here is because when I was on the other side talking to Chris, there was lots of fish boshing over this side. We heard them, couldn't see him his side, but heard them, because you can't see quite through with the sort of the starting to mature, but like reeds and bits and bobs sticking up on the middle there, which is obviously stopping your vision from the other side. But yeah, there was definitely fish showing. So it was a no-brainer. Drive round, a little bit of privacy as well, and it's quiet, and it's comfortable, and it's safe as well. Here, everything's, when you first come in, you go for a big gate. Obviously, you've got to dip your nets, which I've done. I've put them on top of the van. My slings, my nets, everything. That's the first thing you do to stop any cross-contamination or the worst happening. You get let through the gate, and then you obviously go to whatever lake that you're on this particular time. Birch. So here I am. Let's get it. It's just coming up to 1 o'clock. And I need to go and source some water. So I've got my water butt here, look. I need to go and get some water, because I can't be without coffees. And I'm going to come back and obviously flick some rods out. As you can see behind me, they're not set up or anything, but I need to get them rods sorted. I'm going to fish 2 rods, because I've just opened up my rods, and one of my TX2s, one of the eyes has been bent back on it. I don't know how that's happened, but I'm a little bit gutted, if I'm honest. So that's something I need to sort, because I'm going to Euro Aqua in a few weeks, and I'm on the Manor next week with a big fully in. So yeah, I definitely need to get that sorted ASAP. So I'm a little bit like taken back by that. I've also got one of these as well. I'm going to wander around with this. Now, I don't know if anybody's had one of these, but limited edition Oreo, 0 sugar. It's either going to be bloody horrible or quite nice. So I'm going to give that a go in a second. Have a little wander around, and also I haven't got a lighter. Not the best trip, is it? So I need to pop to the shop and try and get a lighter, because I can't do my stove. Therefore, I can't turn the stove on to do the shrink tube, and also I can't just blow the flame over the top of them to just get that shrink tube to obviously shrink. So yeah, like, come on, Ben. Right, wow, I am back, and I've got my water. just when you first come in, you can top up with that. Got a bottle of gas, because I didn't bring any gas with me, and also a lighter. Coke and Farm, I've got you covered here. There's a full tackle shop on site, and there's a little bit of everything in there, if I'm honest, whether that be leads, hooks, clothing, even a bit of luggage as well. So yeah, I've got my Noddy Ben, I've got my essentials now to at least be able to shrink off my shrink tube, and I can have a little go in a second. You join me inside the van now. You wouldn't normally be able to do this, but obviously because I'm down here doing a little bit of filming as a one-off, I'm obviously doing it out the back of the van because I am going to be here for just the 24 hours, and the time now is 1:30, so time is ticking, and time is ticking fast. So I've went in really simple with a really simple Gemini setup with a really short link with a little magic bean on the end. Now, a lot of you probably watching this, Benny, you're going to go over tying the rig. I'm not going to go over tying the rig in this particular video, but if you do want to learn how to tie a PVA bag rig, as maybe you're unsure, we've got a full video of this on the channel, so go over and check that out. Now, this is where it gets spicy because I've got to use all these in front of me, and being that there's quite a few fish in here, I need to make this last me. So I've got 1 kg of the mini mix. I've got my go-to, the new 12, well, I say new, the 12mm magic beans. Now, they're devastating in their own right, and like I said, my go-to, and something that's done me a lot of bites. So I'm going to go in with 2 different colours, so I'm just fishing 2 rods. And then the famous flat spot. So I've been tipped off. I've got a couple of blokes in the shop who've sort of said, you know, oils and liquids have been working really well on here in regard to the attraction, the very few handful of people that have been able to get on it. This is bailiffs. Said when they've been putting liquid in or oils in their PVA bags, they've been getting bites quicker. So again, I've got to be a little bit reserving with this bottle, but I am going to be putting some flat spot in. So without further ado, I'm going to make the rig, inject it with the flat spot, get to that point, and obviously I'll tell you exactly what I'm doing. Right, wow, there it is, that's done, that didn't take long. A quick little tidy PVA bag with the mini mix pellet in. Now, to say that else is going to give you edge is obviously our magic dust, but being that I'm fishing on a budget on this particular session, I'm not going to be adding the magic dust. That is my edge, that dust is my edge. But I have got this bad boy because that includes the hook baits, the flat spot and the mini mix pellet. So I can apply this bad boy, and what I'm going to do is I'm also going to inject it as close as I can without hindering the hook point or the hook bait itself. Inject it directly where the hook bait is. And the reason for that is obviously that will be the point where that bean obviously pops up on the bottom, makes it visual, and then when the fish pulls over the spot, it's one suck, game over. So I'm going to make the other rig, and then I'm going to get the rods both out at the same time. So I'm not going to put the flat spot in just yet, but I'm going to put that rod down on the rest, make the other bag, and then put them both out at the same time, so I know I'm fishing them right next to each other. Now you're probably thinking, Ben, you've got 2 rods, why are you putting 2 rods on the spot? Now I'm not going to lie, I have seen a fish show, it was a common. Basically exactly where I'm going to put my rods. I've already flicked a rod out, I'm not going to lie, off camera, it's around 15 wraps or just under. Again, I am fishing slightly over to my left, but being on this scenario, there is nobody else on the lake, so I can do that. Obviously, if there was someone fishing up to me, I obviously wouldn't do that. I'd stay within my boundary, if you like. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make the other bag up now, and then get them rods out on the dance floor, and fingers crossed I can nick a nosser pig. Let's just say that. A little bit of flat spot in the bag, but being a little bit reserved with that. Just drop that down there. There's a couple of benefits to the flat spot, obviously the visual aspect, and you also know what I do find with this, 2, 3, 4 hours after you start getting that flat spot, and it's an indicator that you know you've got fish on the spot. They've dispersed them oils, being that it's an oil, it's naturally going to float to the top, so you've got that visual aspect. But not only that, you can go around and on not just here but other lakes, obviously you can look for them little smoulders, if you like, of oil coming up, and then obviously put bait over the top of it, so you know exactly where your bag is as well. So this is all clipped up ready. Here goes nothing. And also I am fishing back leads as well, so I'm going to fish my tips up with my back leads right down in front of me, so if I do get a run, hopefully it don't take out the other rod. Not gonna lie, that did go slightly to the right of where I wanted it, but I do want one nearer that island, and I am going to fish one off it. Well, Chris, the other side, I know he's been having them 3/4 of the way across. Them bigger ones, he's been having off his baited spot. The smaller ones are coming in, smashing and living bits, obviously the bait that you're putting in. And the bigger ones have been coming off. They're a little bit more reluctant to go straight on that big motherload of bait. So this one needs to go more to my left. Well, I'd like it more to my left. It is windy here, but I ain't fishing far out, so it shouldn't be a bloody problem. So that's what I'm going to do now. Right, wow, there it is. Both of the rods out, happy with them. It did go slightly more left. Not as left as I wanted it to, if I'm honest, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to set a timer. It's 2 o'clock now. Obviously I've got here till tomorrow morning. It's a quick one. I said 24 hours at the beginning, but I certainly ain't got 24 hours now. So game is on, and hopefully, just hopefully, one of them nice ones come along. But I'd love, to be honest with you, I'd love one of them scaly ones that I seen Chris with this morning. What a fish that was. Small but perfect. Yeah, I'm quite looking forward to seeing one of them rods buckle round hopefully, and there'll be a fish in the net very soon. Come on the Carp and come on the Parker baits, baby. Well, I wasn't expecting it to go that fast. That took all of 11 minutes. And would you look at that? Now, I know it's not the biggest fish in the world, but when they look at that, look at the future here at Birch at Coquin Farm. Quickly show you the other side. I mean, look. Do they get much better than that? That's pretty incredible with my eyes. I don't know, maybe around £10 if that. But foul to the mini mix pellet, flat spot, and a little pink 12mm OG Fish magic bean. So let's get this one back. The rods are already back out on the dance floor. Unfortunately, this little fella took out my other rod. So first thing I've done is while he was resting, just for a couple of minutes, I got them rods straight back out. So thank you very much, Mr. Fully Scaled. You have made me beat the blank, and I'm sure we're going to have a few more of these. It's just, how long is that bait going to last? Right, a little touch base really. It's now 20 to 3. Obviously that fish went back, but directly after that, shortly after I'd done that little clip, left hand rod had a real randy occurrence. Bobbin sort of pulled up, tip started going. I thought, this is going to be a busy night, and then it sort of pulled up. But that's weird. And then the bobbin then dropped back down directly in exactly the same spot it was originally at, so it was just an aggressive liner. But then the tip was sort of, you know what, the back legs moved. I can see with the line lay as it hits the water, it's moved a little bit. So something definitely happened. So what I've done is I've redone that rod. Just for that mind reassurance, really. The last thing you want to do, and especially wherever you are, the last thing you want to do is have a rod out there and not be 110%, or that confidence is key. And sat behind them rods thinking, is it fishing, is it not? Just redo it, Ben, and that is exactly what I've done. So that's where I'm at now. It's not going to be long, and that darkness is going to start coming in, the light's going to start fading. It's going to make everything a bit of a nightmare to do some video, but I reckon it's going to be a busy night. I really do. So that is the update. Happy bloomin' days. It's definitely slow for me at the moment. It's probably about 45 minutes since the last clip. That darkness is starting to come in already. I've just seen a fish come straight out of the water in front of me, about 5 wraps out, and I've also seen a bit of commotion over by the margin, like a tail flick, if you like. But the main reason for me jumping on is that something special happened this morning. Something really special happened this morning. So anybody who watches the channel know that I like to fish Berners Hall. Now Berners Hall is a very dearly close to my heart, if you like, in regards to the fish stock in there and just the venue as a general. It's just, you get excited when you turn up. Now T's been on there the last 4 nights and he's been struggling, but I got a text this morning and he goes, mate, you won't believe what's happened. And he only went and managed Eric's Ghosty. Now Eric's Ghosty is probably the most sought after fish in there. It's well up there with them, and yeah, he's done it, he's made it happen.
Would you believe it? Another 40, and this one, oh, absolutely lost for words, absolutely lost for words. I've been proper after this one. Out of all of them in this lake, this was the jewel that I was after, and to get it, mate, lost for words. On mini mix, yellow magic bean. Dreams can come true. Dreams can come true. Well, let's put her back. Oh. Absolute orange submarine.
We had it at, I think it was £44.12. £44.12. Teammate, so happy for you. And for him to catch it, and I know that was dearly a fish that he really wanted. I've had it in the past and now he's had it. It's like at a very good weight as well. I think I've seen it once come over £45 and he's had it just under. So T, Mr. 40, well done to you, and you live up to your name because, well, you got Eric's under your belt now and another fish to put in the photo album. And my God, have we done some 40s between us out of that lake. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put them up on the screen now, just some of the 40s that we've had. I've got a plane flying above me now. So it's some of the 40s we've had out of this particular venue, and if you haven't fished it, it's definitely worth getting yourself booked on and having a little go up there, especially this year, because going into next year it's going to turn into a lake exclusive. So the only way you're going to get on is by booking the whole lake out. So T, well done again, mate. I'm going to go to bed tonight a happy man, and I'm sure you are as well. And yeah, what a moment, just what a moment. Right, wow, there it is. Rods are out, happy with them. One went just to the right, which is my right hand rod, and the left hand rod went absolutely on the money. When we notice I put my tip forward when I'm casting as well and just sinking the line because the crosswind. But I'm also doing the same with the spot and then putting the tip forward so it lands in exactly the same spot. Yeah, can't do no much more now. Have seen a fish, seen my first show, literally over the spot. So what I've done is there, obviously, can't go crazy with bait, but I thought I want to try and get something around it. So I did. I put 2 spombs out over with mini mix pellets straight up. I don't have enough flat spot to lace that because obviously I want to save that for the bags. So I'm putting a little bit of mini mix in the spom and then putting that out. And actually they went out pretty much perfect. Couldn't have asked for better, really. Yeah, I'm going to sit back now and hopefully, just hopefully, one of them bigger ones comes along and I'm not going to be sort of pestered with loads and loads of smaller ones through the night. Although I'm not complaining at all because that was a lovely fish earlier, it truly was, with all them scales on it. But one of them a little bit bigger would be lovely. So for now I'm going to sit back, lock onto the water. Like I always say, I think a massive bit of my angling is watching the water and seeing what the fish are doing, and you can act upon it. If something occurs, you know, if a fish keeps showing multiple times in the same spot, you can put a rod on it, and that's exactly what I'm going to do in this scenario. So sit back, lock on, and watch that darkness roll in. See you in a bit. So here it is, here's dinner. I've been getting these recently. I've been getting them from B&M and they're really cheap. But it's like a pot noodle on steroids, just bloody massive, and they're really nice. So the kettle's boiling. Dinner with a view. See, the trick is with these bad boys, you've got to leave them 5-10 minutes. Put the lid back over. As you can see, that darkness is coming in very quickly. Before you know it, we had to see them rods. Now, it wouldn't be right not to have a pudding, so when I was at the shop earlier, I picked up 2 of these bad boys, so I'm going to have that for my pudding. Happy times. Right, well, it's just gone 8 o'clock, and I've just had to redo both rods there. Left hand rod pulls up, goes over to it, nothing. And as I'm doing that, the right hand rod does exactly the same. So, you know what, I'm going to redo them again. So I've just rewrapped them, got them back out. They went out lovely. So yeah, time to sit back. Just gone 8 o'clock. Cut on the carp. The wind's picking up. Still going the same way. And I've had about 2 or 3 randy takes. I've had to redo the rods about 3 times. But I am going to try and get my head down now. It's just gone up to 10 o'clock. Get a few hours. Set an alarm. Probably redo the rods. Up against it with these bags. I would love to introduce a bit of boilie really, but unfortunately that's not part of this game. So yeah, that's where I'm at, and I'll see you in a bit. Well, it's gone 11 now. Not going to get this one out, but another lovely scaly one. That lovely scaly one. Look at that. Right. You, mate, can go. Give it a kick. Off you go. Lovely. Lovely, bloody jubbly. Like I said, that's the rods back out. We'll be topping up with bait, but obviously can't do that because if I have a few more fish, I'm going to run out of mini mix. So the PVA bag back out on the money, injected with the flat spot. Come on. Well, another small one, little linear. Rods back out. A lot of fish, a lot of activity out there. That was on the pink magic bean. Most of them, I think one of them, both of them have gone on 2 pinks and a yellow. So bye bye, Mr. Linear. Get up. Right, wow, they're getting bigger slowly. This one's the biggest so far, fish number 4. But look at that. Look at that for an absolute banger. Mate, that's a lovely fish. Got to give it maybe 15-16 pound. But yeah, over the moon with that one. Let's show you the other side. So there it is, there's the other side. Like little beautiful silvery gold. Quite a pale fish, but lovely, lovely scales on it. Yeah, mega. And on the pink, again, seems to be them pinks doing the do. I had a yellow on the other one and it's the pink that's went, so definitely one for the note there. And the mini mix is running a little bit low and my flat spot is running terribly low at the moment, but I'm 4 fish in and obviously I've had about 3 or 4, maybe 5 or 6 actually recasts as well. So yeah, let's get this one back. I've put it down to 1 rod now, and because I keep getting taken out, so I'm going to get this one back and hopefully I can keep that rod moving. Geared up. So let me give you a down low of what happened last night, and it's absolutely weeing it down at the moment. The winds and the rains whipping across the water, and it is not very nice out there. I'm a little bit wet because I've just redone the rods and just gotten back out on that sort of, probably been up about an hour now, something like that, and Chris just came over, had a good chat then, kept him in the loop of what happened. So after the video, that last video of that lovely scaly one, the biggest one to point, I had another couple of smaller ones, and it was like, you know what, this is getting to the point now where I'm getting very tired and I can't handle it. Maybe I'm getting old, I don't know. But I was like, I can't do this all night. I can't do this all night. So I went down to one rod. Then that rod went about 20 minutes later. Absolutely screamed off. Landed that again, another one sort of, I don't know, maybe £10. Beautiful, 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 beautiful scaly one. I'm not complaining at all, but I was like, no, I can't handle this all night. So with that, I've put that rod up against the bivvy, set an alarm for first light, and that sort of brings you where I am at point now. But why am I bringing this up? Now, this is absolutely perfect for the sort of newbie getting in, or the dad and son, or the dad and daughter to come down, or the mum and daughter, or the mum and son, you know, to come down and have a go. This is perfect, absolutely perfect, with some big ones thrown in the mix as well. So there's always a chance of a nosser pig, as we say at the Parker Baits YouTube channel. But yeah, redone the rods this morning, and it sort of brings you to where I'm at now. And I think it's something like 5 or 6 fish. But my God, I think if I kept them rods out last night, I think I'd be on about 15, 20 fish for sure. So yeah, just gone 8 o'clock now. Like I said, I've been up a little while. It's going to be a bit of a struggle today with the rain, but I'm going to do what I can to get some more footage for sure and show you. But I'm going to give it to around sort of like 12 o'clock today for this challenge. The flat spot supplies are looking rather low, but then I have had loads of casts, but the mini mix isn't looking so low. So I'll tell you what, I've still got quite a bit of mini mix in there, considering it's probably about there. Obviously, yeah, so it's probably about there, the mini mix. And then also as well, one thing I didn't mention with our hook baits, for all in this $18.99, this particular bundle that I want, there's 70 plus hook baits in there. So you're never going to run out of hook baits. I've got loads of them in there, but the pinks are looking a little bit, well, there's not as many, to say the least. So yeah, time to sit back now, watch the water, sort of see what's going on now. Because obviously things have changed, but my God, there was a lot of action over the other side last night. And I mean, it seemed to be like the big ones. You know when like a fish breaches and it comes up and you hear that like tail slap, like it's a smaller one, and there's sort of a very delicate as the fish goes back, drops back in the water. The other side, or to my right, definitely over the other side, it sounded like, not that anybody was fishing there, could have went round, blah blah blah, but it sounded like someone was getting buckets and throwing buckets full to the brim of bait in, but just clamped down. It was like, oh Jesus, that was a better one. That was definitely a better one, but that was primarily the other side. So yeah, I'm going to sit back now and probably make myself a coffee, because that's needed, and I'll touch base with you very soon. Well, I've just redone that left-hand rod. I had an absolute screamer. It's just recovering that line. Still raining, as you can see, quite bad. But yeah, left-hand rod, hit into it, nothing. So weird, so weird. But yeah, proper overcast, miserable day. Clouds up there. I'm getting back in my bivvy. Or back in my van. Oh! That's definitely a bite. That's definitely a bite. Oh, boy. Right, well, I'm going to sort this one before it gets too wet. As you can see, it's screamed off. And another one, around £15 again, I reckon, something like that. But I tell you what, you know, if you're coming here over the winter period for a bite, I don't think it gets much better, if you ask me. And like I said within this video, if you are doing things on a budget, you don't have to spend the world, and look what you can catch. Coking Farm, you've done it again, baby. And this place is definitely one to look out for in the future. But you need to get down here and have a little go. Thank you very much, the Scaly Banger. And thank you very much, the Parker Baits, baby. Yes. Lovely. That was eventful. Rods are finally back out. And it's mad, because you think when I first put them rods out this morning, I put a yellow and a pink. The pink had a run on. And obviously didn't land the fish, and then the other one that just went, the one that I landed, the lovely scaly one, was on a pink again. So if you are coming down and you haven't got pink magic beans in your armoury or pinks in your armoury, then you're not giving yourself an advantage, because that's definitely this particular time I've come, that hook bait is standard out for me. Bearing in mind I've used whites as well, and I haven't used the orange. I didn't even put the oranges on. That's not because I dislike them, I just haven't put the oranges on. But the whites weren't even getting a bite. But whites everywhere else in the country at the moment have been smashing it. I've done some big fish on whites recently, and not done the do here. So yeah, it's definitely interesting, and I'm still learning. Although this is a heavily stocked lake, you can come up here, play about with bits, and make sure you're sticking to the rules and doing the right things, obviously. But what I'm trying to say is, if you've got a new hook pattern you're playing about with, or you're shrinking the shrink tube in a certain way, you know, it's definitely the place to be trying things like that. So you can see if them hook holds are right, and being that it's a barbless hook rule as well, you know, if you're nailing with a barbless hook, if you go to another venue and you can use micro barbs, then Christ, you're probably not going to lose the fish. So yeah, thoroughly enjoyed my time up here, to be honest with you. I've got a couple of hours left, and I don't know what I'm going to do yet. I really don't. I've got the flexibility to stay on, but I have got a lot of stuff to do at home, and it is one of them. Like I said, I've got quite a few things to get done at home. And also Parker Baits HQ is absolutely crazy at the moment. Yes, our orders have dropped, but about, you think 2 weeks ago, we were doing 1,000 orders a week. 1,000 orders a week. Tons and tons of bait going out. It's crazy, absolutely crazy. But you can see that flat spot on the water. Just hope that 30 pounder's over there having a bit of a munch. Come on the magic beans, or come on the pink magic beans. Woo-hoo-hoo! How's that for a bit of carnage? Double take madness. Some lovely scales on that one, but they're all just beautiful in here, and that's sort of been my average stamp. I mean, that's just mine. Although Chris was on a couple of days ago and he said he was catching a lot of 20s, so if them big ones move in, then happy days. I'm just hoping that happens over the next hour or so. But yeah, look at that, absolutely pristine and beautiful. Now I'm going to get some carp care on these, get them back in the water. Lovely, bloomin' jubbly. Oh, when it goes off, it goes off. So with that, I've put a couple of spoms out with the mini mix pellet. I've redone my rods, but I think it's important to, obviously, if it is kicking off, make sure you're checking your hook points. Both of my hook points were completely blunt. I had to make 2 new rigs, and I've had to do that. I've probably made 20 rigs since I've been here. Little shorties for the PVA bag scenario. But yeah, definitely when you're reeling your rods in, make sure you're checking your hook point. A lot of people don't do it, but I think it's an edge in my eyes. And definitely them fish, if it's not quite, but it's come over, it's had a finicky sort of bite or pick up, if you like, but because you've got a really sharp hook, that hook is set in and it's not coming out, especially in a barbless scenario, like I keep mentioning here. But yeah, happy with that. They went out absolutely beautiful, and I mean beautiful. So I don't think it's going to be long and I'm going to get another bite. The only thing I would say is, if it does switch off, it's probably because the spom hitting the water, but I can't see that being an issue, the amount of fish in here. I think if anything, it's going to be a bit of an alarm bell. 11 o'clock, and I just had another one, slipped that back. That was a right hand rod, that was. Redone it, blunt my hook again, had to put that straight back out. But I wanted to give you a little bit of an update over here of where I'm at with bait. Now, it's done me well, that. Bearing in mind, I nearly had 10 fish, and I put a bit out of the spom. That's the rest of the mini mix. A little bit left in there, a little dribble or flat spot, and also plenty of hook bites left. All right, yeah, the pinks are a little bit less, but that's what's been doing the do. So I've got about an hour left on the timer for this challenge. Am I going to have a 20 pounder before I leave? That would be lovely. Because I heard one again over the back there probably about half an hour ago, and it was a bit of a lump. So the onion bag, as Mr. South Coast says. You can go, mate. Thank you very much. Lovely jubbly. Rod's back out, and we have got around 40 minutes left. Go on, rods. Pack down begins. I've got this ramp for the back of my van. If anybody's got a van and hasn't got one of these, they're bloody brilliant they are. I can just turn this on and move straight up there. Load the barrow up, or I can get this fully loaded, put it in the back, strap it in, and then when you turn up at a lake, you pull down, you can get to the peg before anyone else if you're in a rush, or you're doing a quick overnighter or whatever you may be doing. But it'd be rude if I didn't sort of touch on a few little bits. Obviously all the pegs, again, are lovely. You're not going to get filthy and muddy over them colder months when it starts, the weather's really bad. Like I mentioned, you've got these little yellow bits on the island, so it divides or gives you your little bit of water, so there's no confusion. And they're just moving up here. Now, don't quote me on this, because this isn't a question I've asked, and definitely asked me at the fishery. There's a little bridge here. I'm in. I'm in. Yeah, that's definitely a bite, I would say. Let me just tighten that up and see if it goes. Yep, that's a bite. That just happened. Slightly better one. Definitely get her out before, or him out before I let it go. But yeah, you've got a bridge that end and a bridge this end, so you may be able to go on the island to then bait. But again, check that at reception when you turn up. But if not, you know, everything's catapult range. It's really easy. I tell you what, that wind's been trickling down that end the whole time I've been here as well. But then I've also heard from Chris, he said the fish have been staying off the back of the wind, so i.e. this end. It's literally been coming through, down and out. But yeah, lovely swims, lovely venue. Christ, definitely one to watch out for in the next sort of 5 years. This is going to be something special, and also hard standing as well. Now I think this is a car park here, so people can park their cars there, and there is pullover bays in most of the pegs as well. Now again, check at reception if you're allowed to park your cars here, but I'm pretty sure you are around the lake, which is very convenient, because if you do need something, you can grab it out of your motor, bring it back over to your bivvy, job done. So without further ado, I'm going to get this fish out and show you that in a second. Well, when I said they're all bangers, that they certainly are. This one's a feisty little devil, but let's try and get him up. Yeah, look at that for a little cool one again. Scales, coming out of scales, coming out of scales, and foul too, a little pink. This side's nice, look at this. What a banger. What a banger. Now that's probably going to be the last one on that rod. I'm going to leave the other rod out while I pack down, and then I'm going to be on my way. Oh, thank you very much, Mr. Mirror. Another one from Coking Farm. Yes. Mwah. Right, well, as you can see behind me, the van, the last door's open. I've got to put the last few bits in. I've got one rod out, but I'm literally going to put that away in a second. But yeah, thoroughly enjoyed my time here at Coking Farm, and stay tuned on the channel for the next few months. Well, forever, but I mean the next couple of months, keep an eye on, because we've got some absolute bangers coming. We've got Manor next week. So anybody who doesn't know, the one that Daryl Peck's just had, the big fully, we're fishing that. I'm on there a whole week next week. The week after that, I go then to Euro Aqua for a week with my good friend Richard. And that's going to be, we're there on a moon phase. I just hope everything, well, full moon, everything just clicks into play over there, and potentially £100 common would be, well, quite frankly, mind-blowing, to be honest with you. So there it is. It just goes to show you don't need to spend loads of money on bait. You can come on a budget and still catch plenty of fish. There's literally that much left of the mini mix pellet. Things that I would have maybe done different. Now, if I wasn't doing what I was doing, obviously this scenario, we've been obviously playing about with the flat spot, the mini mix pellet, and obviously a pot of hook baits. That was the aim of the game. See what I could catch in 24 hours, and that I've done. What would I have liked in my mix? Magic dust I would have added in if I could have, and if I was to come back, that's probably what I'd bring with me, a little pot of magic dust to just fill up that bottom of the bag. when you add that then with the oil, when it touches the oil and then it starts pipping up, then you get these little glodules of like food particles like pipping up through the layers of the water column. And I feel it pulls fish on quicker because of that magic dust in there. And also I'd have liked a bit more substantial bait, so obviously I've been putting out a very, very, very fine pellet. Now they're probably being fed an 8mm, I would imagine, something like that. But I mean, to just put some boilie in, some 18s, some 10s, and get them feeding, and maybe that might have pulled in them slightly bigger fish. But like I say, I'm not complaining for what was in front of me, or the game that we were playing, if you like. It's worked with what I had, but that's what I would change if I was to come back. So hopefully you can take something away from this video, guys. If you have enjoyed it, make sure you give us a comment down below, give us a thumbs up, and let me know in the comments if you've come up Coking Farm, particularly on the new one. Let me know what you've been catching, and also let me know what you've been catching on the complex. You know, have you caught that big lin out of one of the other lakes? Have you caught some 30 pluses? Get in the comments and let me know, and obviously tag us in on social media, especially if you're catching it on Parker Baits. So that's this week's video, guys. Hopefully you've liked it. If you have, give us a thumbs up, make sure you comment down below, smash that subscribe button so you don't miss any videos going forward, and I'll speak to you all very soon. Peace out. So will you be joining us at the Winter Carp Show? It's going to be bigger and better than ever before. So obviously Parker Baits will be attending and bringing the freshest bait in the game. So obviously we're going to be bringing some limited edition products and a normal range as well. So whether that be boilies, magic dust, flat spot, you name it, we're going to be bringing it to the Winter Carp Show. But not just Parker Baits at the Winter Carp Show, there is going to be various other brands. Some of the biggest brands in the game will be attending this particular show. So you're probably all wondering, what are the dates? So it's the 30th of November and obviously the 1st of December as well. So tickets are available now, and what we'll do is to make your life even easier, in the description there's a link in the bottom of this video. So head over, grab your tickets, and when you turn up at the Winter Carp Show, make sure you beeline over to the Parker Baits stand and get your hands on the freshest bait in the game.
Come see the Parker Baits, baby! Woo!